Okay, this is a lesson on the third clarinet part for Arabian Dances by Brian Balmages. And we're not going to play the whole piece. We're not going to have a long lesson on this entire piece of music because there's a whole lot of notes here. I'm just going to point out a couple of things that you may not have thought about as you're preparing to play this in your band class or as you are preparing it in band. Anytime we have a series of notes that ascends low to high, there needs to be a natural progression that leads to the next measure, and that is universally accepted as needing a crescendo. So let's say sometimes it's going to be written, sometimes not. Look at the last measure of the first line. That is written with that in mind. So you're playing, starting on that low B natural. Okay, so your target for the climax there is the half note in measure 10. So you'll start soft. Okay, now there is a place closely after that, 17, where that is not written. And you can't write everything in a piece of music that the composer is intending for you to do, okay? Some of those things are going to be learned through your experience, and then some of them are going to be learned by listening to your band director tell you what to do there, or your private instructor or whoever. So at 17, even though there is no crescendo written, you need to play a crescendo. So let's look at this at 17. If I play it like it's written without any crescendo, very unemotional, okay? Just notes, flat. Nobody's crying when they hear it. Oh yes. They may not cry anyway, but so let's play it correctly or musically, all right? Listen to this, listen to the difference. Okay, hopefully you can hear the difference in the video there. So not just here, but in any other piece of music you're preparing, whatever it is, when there is a series of notes that crescendo or that move up the scale, doesn't have to be a scale, just moves up the staff. It needs to have direction. That's called phrasing, all right? We're going to crescendo. So once again at 17, okay, I sort of messed up that little ditty there, but you get the idea. So as the notes go up, you crescendo. As the notes go down, conversely, you want to decrescendo and back off. All right, so it goes up and down. Okay, sort of like a speaker who's not a monotone. You've had these teachers over your years of schooling where the teacher that lectures, I'm not sure teachers lecture anymore, but back in my day, if a teacher stood at the beginning of at the front of the class behind the little podium and they just talk like this the whole time, I mean, that was boring, put us to sleep. But a teacher that has inflection, that crescendos, decrescendos, and has, I guess you want to say, maybe personality. That's what this is all about. Dynamic markings and accent markings, slurs, articulation markings, what have you, musical markings give the music personality. And there's nothing worse than going to a concert and hearing a bunch of kids play. We're through. It needs to have some emotion. There needs to be some type of emotional content from the musical performance, okay? You don't have to be a professional player to play with emotion, okay? All you have to do is move that air a little bit and articulate correctly and use inflection. So those are things that you learn as you progress and as you get older as a musician. So that being said, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but just when you see a piece of music and you see the notes go up, normally you're going to crescendo. Now there may be some times when the notes go down and you're going to crescendo. Case in point, the fifth measure of this piece, the first time you play in the third clarinet part, well, the notes are going down. Well, the composer wanted you to crescendo. So look at that first measure that you play, the C to the C and going down, you're going to crescendo. So he wanted that line to come out, so you're going to play it like this. Okay, normally you would play that, but he wanted that line to come out, so you're going to not do your own thing just because I said you need to decrescendo when the notes go down. You're going to look at this first. Your first line of direction will be, your instruction will be what the composer has said to do, which will be okay. So hopefully this helps. You're going to learn the fingerings as you play. They're going to become more doable, okay, through repetition. But don't just play notes, okay, because it will sound mechanical, all right? Mechanical performances are boring. Musical performances are basically what draws the audience in. It keeps them from going to sleep and snoring during what you're playing, okay? So, that being said, when you're playing scales, do the same thing. If you're going to play like maybe the F scale, play something like this. Instead of at one level. So crescendo as you play the scale, decrescendo as you play the scale down, okay? So hopefully this helps. Practice this. Learn the notes, yes. Got to get the notes right. But make sure that you are playing all of the dynamic markings so that people will want to hear the notes you're playing, okay? Get beyond the notes. That should be the title of this video, Beyond the Notes, okay? All right, hopefully this helped. Have a good day.